I recently lost my job. With Christmas and a baby on the way, this couldn't have been worse timing. But ever the hyperactive individual, I decided to use my newfound time not to look for a new job, but to develop DLC for my game, Starship Sprout. I always describe Starship Sprout as a space roguelite, but perhaps it's more space collectathon resource management game. Anyway, here's what I did with the new DLC. I'm calling Stranded Sprout. I wanted this to have a relatively quick turnaround, so I created a game design that closely mimicked the original, but with some new mechanics and a completely different objective. So I took the existing scenes from Starship Sprout and started adding new textures. In the beginning, this made the DLC appear shallow, but as I added new mechanics, it came together really well. Instead of a space scene, we have a sea scene with islands floating across the screen, which the player can explore by sailing Captain Russell's new ship. I didn't want to copy the falling planet effect exactly. Firstly, it would be unoriginal, and secondly, it would look way too out of place. So I added a wave effect where the islands are washed back before moving on. Next came the islands. For this, I borrowed the planet generation code from the base game, swapped plants out for coconuts, and added a new fishing mechanic. To stay alive, players must stay hydrated and fed by drinking coconut water and eating fish. But survival isn't the aim of this DLC. Collecting missing Starship Sprout parts is. So I rejigged the UI to have a focus on finding all 15 parts and created a new collectibles menu. Unlike the collectibles on Starship Sprout, you'll find that ship parts appear much more regularly. Now I needed to connect the DLC with the base game, which honestly was a pain in the arse. In my laziness, I didn't think to rename all variables, instead relying on Python understanding that different scripts were running. While this mostly worked, it's led to some horrifying issues with game data saving and variables failing to reset where needed. I got it working though, I think. But it wasn't just about accessing game data. I also needed a way for players to access the DLC. Fitting with the theme of the DLC, I made it so when the Starship Sprout runs out of fuel, the player crash lands into the sea. I'm quite proud of the new transition effect. And that's pretty much it in a coconut shell. If you're interested in playing the Stranded Sprout DLC, check out the itch link in the description of this video. Don't worry if you haven't got the base game, it's automatically installed when installing Stranded Sprout. This will probably be the last major update to Starship Sprout, apart from some inevitable bug fixes, as we're putting our efforts into a new project which you'll hear more about soon. That's right, where? There's a few of us at Banana Jam Games now. Thanks for watching, join our Discord for updates.